narcissism can attack anybody at any time. It doesn't mean that you've got the disorder, but it can ripple in and out of who we are. I think narcissism gets the blame for a lot of things that are just sin. I think sin, which is a spiritual term for a psychological problem, is deleted because it's a very uncomfortable word. Sin is not a very nice word. But narcissism, as uncomfortable as it is, it has a flavour to it. And it seems to have an effect that intrigues people, and they like to listen to talks on the subject. But I think all too often things that are attributed as being narcissism are simply just sinfulness. I think narcissism at its deepest core conceives itself out of parenting that's gone astray. And be that by spoiling or neglect. The effect on the child causes a diversity of feelings and thoughts and emotions that cause sinfulness to be able to take advantage of the mind, to be able to deceive. And these deceptions, once they're conceived and become full-blown, not only hurt the people that are on the end of it, but also hurt the person that is producing it. And we are all vulnerable to sin. Obviously some more than others, and that's why we have prisons and courts and rules to prevent this harm from going any further than it should. In the relationship I'm in at the moment, I'm having some difficulties personally with some incompatibilities, and we have spoken about these things together, and we've also gone for counselling, which is something we all need to do when issues become more than what we can address ourselves, where we need help with the ambiguities and the fogginess and blurriness we have in trying to work these things out. A lot of the time we can get angry and frustrated because not that we don't get along, or not that we aren't moving forward and progressing and doing great things in the relationship and having moments of give, take, care and share, and all the wonderful attributes and rewards that come with that. It's in those moments where things just don't seem to line up. Things just don't add up for one reason or another. There's an element of doubt cast on the integrity and closeness and genuineness of the relationship, but sometimes genuineness can be undermined by our own insecurities. The other person's genuineness can be completely undermined by insecurities that we have, that we've carried through our lives and that have been brought to us through relationships of past. And we begin to attack the genuinenesses of the person that we're with. I've had some beautiful, wonderful women that were genuine, but there were habits and characteristical flaws and family members and all other types of interferences, both spiritual, psychological, and interrelational, that just drove me to the point where I did not want to continue that relationship anymore. And there's me in the reflection of the mirror. Yeah, we're talking about the man in the mirror. So when our temperance and perseverance and patience and long-suffering begin to abandon us, and we're left with feelings that we have tried to dodge and avoid, we don't want to face, we want things to work. When we're confronted with these moments where the issue has to be confronted because the issue is confronting us, it's going to be difficult if it's the second, third or fourth time that the issue has come up. For many of you and many people, we're prepared to let things slide once or twice, possibly 3 times, and then after that we begin to wear. The situation begins to wear on us, gets smoky, the flame starts to go out. It needs some breath on it. See how the wind reignites the flame? And bringing that spirit into it, the spirit of transparency and a willingness to fix what it is that is possibly the annoyance, can take a lot of spirit out of us. It's something that we wonder sometimes, why are we having to do it? What's got us into this situation in the first place? How did we end up here? Why am I having to do this? Shouldn't this person know? Why aren't they dealing with it? How come this is happening again? And we wrestle. And again, it's not that either or either are ungenuine. These are the flaws of human nature, and to name these flaws across the board as narcissism really is villainizing the term. And sometimes it's much more simpler to come back to sin, or to come back to ignorance, or to come back to underdeveloped character, or just a need to get better, a need to change, a need to help that person to see that we are worthy, and for them to help us to see that they are worthy, for the value to be maintained in the relationship. By doing that, we're stoking the fire of love. So not everything's narcissism or some other personality disorder. A lot of it's just sin. And with the help of God, given that it's Easter and what Jesus did on the cross, we can stop and reflect and realize that His Spirit can help us. Help ourselves and contribute in a way in which we are an asset to the relationship in which we are in.